Hello, I'm John Schaffer with theCUBE here at the NYSE studios. Here, of course, we have our Palo Alto studios. It's our Crypto Trailblazers series where we feature the leaders who are making it happen, bringing crypto mainstream, but also setting the table and building the infrastructure and the needed building blocks and primitives to have programmable money, and of course, bring in a new financial institutional network infrastructure as financial systems are being rewired for cross borders, new applications, and Ledger has been one of the leading companies in there. We have the CTO of Ledger, Charles Guillemet, is here. CTO, thanks for coming on. Charles, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, first of all, I just want to say, very impressed with Ledger. I was in your offices in Paris. You guys kind of built the product in a way that was not obvious, but actually was a good formula. You built the security first, and then kind of rolled into where the market needs were, which is custody.
Yep.
Okay, and so you have one of the most successful products ever in Nano. Now you got Gen 5 launching. So that's the big news. Let's get into it right away. What is that product, and why is it going to build on the best security product ever?
Yeah, so as you said, crypto is a revolution, and the big part of this revolution is the permissionless money. Like with Bitcoin, you have permissionless money, and it's made possible thanks to two pillars. On one side, you have the decentralized consensus that enables censorship resistance, like no one can prevent you to transact. But on the other side, you also have self-custody. Self-custody is the second pillar that is really important. You can buy Bitcoin with an ETF or on Coinbase and so on, but you are just speculating on the price of Bitcoin. You don't really benefit from this permissionless aspect. So self-custody is really fundamental for crypto, but with self-custody, you have also a lot of responsibility, and you don't want to lose your crypto. You don't want to lose your key. You want to make sure that an attacker won't be able to get access to your keys, because if the attacker access to your keys, it will drain your wallet, and there is nothing you can do. There is no trusted third party that will refund you. It doesn't exist. So security is paramount, and this is what we do from the beginning of Ledger, creating security product, but at the same time, they must be easy to use, and this is really what we are trying to do.
You know, the notion of self-custody, you mentioned that, and you mentioned Coinbase and other centralized storage. Self-custody is the most preferred. When you talk to anyone who has crypto, they want self-custody. But as it goes mainstream, and as this Trailblazer series is highlighting, it's happening, the average user, it may seem complicated. So I like these solutions that are essentially provides the benefits of self-custody while kind of making it easy. And you guys have done that. So I have to ask, what was the motivation behind Gen 5? Why this version?
Ledger was created 11 years ago, and a lot of products were designed, and that was always the same idea, like having like very secure product while always improving the user experience. So this is really what we did. A couple of years ago, we created Ledger Stacks, which was the first device with an ink screen. And the idea of the Nano Gen 5 is to have the same level of user experience with a nice ink screen, but also at a lower price point. So this is really the idea, and that was also the idea of the first Ledger Nano S. That was the best seller in the security ecosystem for crypto, and this is really the idea of Nano Gen 5, having this upgraded, improved user experience with a high level of security, but at a lower price point. So this is really this idea.
As CTO, you oversee the product and the engineering teams. What was the breakthrough? Here, talk about the secret sauce.
So as you said, like security is very important. So a lot of what we are doing is around security, always raising the bar for security, because security is not static. It's really a journey, because attackers are getting more and more sophisticated, and we are seeing more and more hacks. Like Bybit, which is a very big exchanges, was hacked a few months ago, and they lost 1.4 billion. So the attackers are getting always more sophisticated, so security is really a cornerstone of everything we do when it comes to our product. But at the same time, we really want to improve the user experience, so that's why we have created a Ledger Wallet, which is the software that comes with the device, and you can buy, sell, swap, stake. There was a credit card, and we are always trying to innovate, push the boundaries. This is something that is really important for us. Something that I can mention is when you are in self-custody, you are responsible for your crypto and your private keys, and there is this notion of creating a backup in order so that if you lose your device, you still can recover access to your crypto. And this can be a little bit frightening for users. So that's why we innovated and created different solutions for users to create a backup of their 24 words. 24 words is the human readable version of your private keys. Yeah. And we innovated, for instance, with Ledger Recover, which is a distributed, decentralized way of securing your backup, and you can access your backup thanks to your identity. Yeah. And more recently, we created Ledger Recovery Key, which is a key card, an NFC key card that you will tap on the back of your device so that you can create a backup of your 24 hours. So it's really about innovation, trying to make the user experience as easy as possible, and also to make it foolproof, because sometimes crypto can be complicated, and if users are not really aware of what's going on, they can make a mistake, so it's also part of what we are doing.
You guys have a reputation of millions sold, zero hacked. Okay, so that is the #1 fear of a user. Well, just two fears. Lost my key.
Yep.
So where's that Bitcoin? I know people who have Bitcoin who are scrambling to find things, like where's that key? So they're sitting on all this money. And then there's the hacker side. The other thing is that in traditional like IT, ransomware is very successful at penetrating, quote, backup and recovery options. They just get root control and then take control of that. So they ransomware this, lock out the recovery. So, okay, again, I'm referencing old technology. So talk about that. Losing the key, you mentioned a little bit of that. And then how do you guarantee that the hackers won't be smart enough to figure out how to get the backup?
Yeah, definitely. So you don't want to lose the key, so that's why having a backup is paramount. So this is the first thing that you need to do, and then it really depends on what's your OPSEC, what's your strategy. But you need to think about like worst case, like what happens if your house is burning. So this kind of thing. The first recommendation I do is like never take photos of your 24 hours. Don't have like a digital copy of your 24 hours. It must be like analog. Like let's put this in a piece of paper of using the devices that we are creating for that. So this is for the backup. It's also a good idea to have multiple of them, so that just in case you have like a redundancy. Also, you might want to think about your inheritance. What happens the day you disappear? Like how do you transmit your crypto to your head? So it's something important. And for instance, the Ledger Recovery Key is a good option. You can provide it to your children, for instance, and you don't tell them what's the PIN code, and you give the PIN code to your notary. So the day you disappear, the notary will give the PIN code to your children, and they will. Here
comes the will, and here's the PIN.
Exactly.
You got the house. I mean, that's basically what it is.
As simple as that.
It's like the keys to the house, that or in the deed.
Exactly.
All right, so I have to ask about the in the age of AI now, and obviously cybersecurity, identification, proof of ID. Authentication, multi-factor has been around for a while. How do you know who's who?
This is a big challenge. Like with the rise of AI, it provides plenty of new possibilities, new opportunities. It's a big revolution, no doubt about that. But it also creates new challenges, and we are already seeing them. Like we are going to see plenty of bots on every single platforms, and it's very difficult to distinguish real humans from bots because AI is so efficient to fake humans. And in order to fight against this, we can use crypto. We can use cryptography. We can use blockchain. With cryptography, you can prove you are yourself by signing a message, signing a transaction, and this is a cryptographic primitive. And no AI can fake a signature because this is cryptography, this is math. So this is the first thing. And the second one is also creating like proof of humanity. And this is something, proof of humanity is quite complex to achieve because again, it's very difficult like from a theoretical standpoint to distinguish humans from machines. But with crypto, with a ledger device, you have like more guarantees that there is a human behind a ledger device. So this is the kind of feature we are working on, and the proof of humanity is really the combination of different features, but having a device, using the device as a human, signing messages, authenticating yourself, are part of the primitives that you can use to prove that you are humans against the different bots and the AI that are trying to impersonate yourself.
So Charles, let's just take a hypothetical scenario. I get the ledger device, I got my backup PIN, and I'm lazy. I let someone use my apartment, or I have a guest, or someone breaks into my home. Can they take my PIN and get my stuff?
So the device itself, the backup, the recovery key for the backup also, both of them are including PIN codes. And they work exactly as your credit card, banking card PIN code, meaning that you, if you input like three wrong PIN code, like it will erase itself. So this is how PIN codes are working. So if ever someone is stealing your device or your recovery key, there is very little chance that you will find out what is your PIN. So
unless I wrote my PIN down, say PIN.
Yeah.
If I'm stupid enough to put a post-it on my desk.
If you write down your PIN and your device, and the attacker, the guy at your house, is getting both, he will be able to pretend he is yourself and spend your Bitcoin on your behalf. Yes.
And that's where you worry about home invasions, you know, that kind of thing. That you can't stop that.
No, you can't really stop that. But frankly, this is not really something that is specific to self-custody. Like if you think about your Coinbase account, you have a login and password, and if someone is able to get your login and password, it will connect to your Coinbase account and it will drain your account. So it's not really common to.
It's just levels of security.
Exactly.
All right. So what's clear signing mean? That's something that you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So, as we were mentioning, backup is really important. Creating your keys in a specific device, not on your computer, because there are plenty of malware, is also very important. And there is a third thing that is very important, is clear signing. When you are signing a transaction, you need to understand what you are doing, basically. And this is why we have like screens on our devices, so that as a user, you can verify on the screen what you are doing. Because let's think about an hypothetical scenario where you are about to send 0.1 Bitcoin to me, let's say, and there is a malware on your computer, and this malware will swap the transaction into a malicious one, and instead of sending 0.1 Bitcoin to me, you will send your whole portfolio to the attacker. So that's why we have a screen on the device, so that ultimately you can verify on the device what kind of transaction you are signing. And when it comes to signing Bitcoin transactions, send and receive, those transactions are pretty easy to understand and interpret by the device. But now we are seeing more and more protocols on chain, like DeFi protocols. And when you are interacting with these protocols, you are basically interacting with like programs. And the idea on the device is to display what kind of interaction you are doing. So you are swapping 0.1 ETH to 300 USD, and you can verify this on device, and you have strong guarantees that this is the action that you are approving.
You guys have a great solution, so I have to ask about the ecosystem. You have Ledger Live, Ledger Wallet is in the evolution of Ledger Live. How does your solution embed into the ecosystem, and how do people participate around you?
Yeah, very good question. So Ledger Live is really like an open platform where you can buy, sell, swap, have a credit card. There is a earn section when you can like put your crypto as a collateral to get like yield. this kind of thing. We are also supporting like plenty of different blockchain. I don't even know the number, thousands of tokens. So all of this is possible inside Ledger Live. So you can interact with plenty of different ecosystem. We also have like a discover section where you can interact with different protocols. And you can also use your device outside of Ledger Wallet, either using the Ledger button. For instance, if you go on 1inch, which is one of the biggest swap aggregator, now there is a Ledger button. You click on the button, you connect your device directly to 1inch, and then you can swap. And alternatively, you can also use Wallet Connect, for instance, to interact with a dApp or even like other wallets that are integrating Ledger devices.
And so this is important because one of the things that's coming out of the Trailblazers, and I want to get your thoughts on this, is I have ownership. So it's self-custody. You solve that problem. Ledger Live, now you got an ecosystem. I want to stake that, or I want to engage and leverage my ownership.
Yep. So
you can. Yeah,
you can inside Ledger Live. So for crypto that are proof of stake based, Ethereum, Cosmos, Solana, there are plenty of them. They are supported inside Ledger Live, and there is a button to stake. You click on the button, you approve the transaction on device, and then you will have yield on your Solana or Ethereum, and the yield depends really on the blockchain.
So you make that user experience consistent with what they want.
Everything is consistent, very easy to use, and you have the high level of security.
Okay, so I have to ask the competitive landscape question. Your competitors out there, why you guys are differentiated, and also from an industry perspective, there's a lot of regulatory things. US is doing great. It's pro-crypto. Thank you very much. Good job, everyone in DC. Keep it going. Don't stop. Competition, industry, dynamics.
Yeah.
How does that affect your world as CTO?
So competition, like if you only consider the hardware wallet landscape, Ledger is by far the most successful company. So we have less competition. We have like a few other propositions in the space, and I think it's good. It allows everyone to improve. So there is this. Trezor is one of them. Cold Card. There are plenty of smaller players. We also have competition within the software wallet landscape. Most of the time, they have like more users with very less value. Like users, as soon as they have like more values, they want to secure them, so they will use Ledger signers, Ledger devices. Also, solutions such as like Coinbase or ETF can be seen a little bit as a competition. For me, the value proposition is very different, and people are probably starting with Coinbase or with an ETF because they want to speculate on the price. But as soon as they start to really understand what's crypto, why it's a revolution,
store of value.
Yeah, store of value, but also the fact that you can interact with different protocols, then they will move towards self-custody. And when it comes to the ecosystem, I think like this cycle, because like crypto is really, we really have like different cycles. This cycle is very different from the previous one because it is marked by institutional adoption and by Wall Street. Like Wall Street is embracing crypto.
Yeah, it's awesome here.
Yeah, it's very different from the previous cycles. And I see this like in two different directions. On one side, you have BlackRock with Fidelity and all the ETFs that are wrapping Bitcoin value into traditional finance product. So ETF, options, derivatives. So there is this. And there is the other side that for me is even more interesting, is that traditional finance is realizing that crypto can be used as a backend. It's far more efficient, cheaper, composable, transparent. Like you have like so many benefits. Stablecoin is the first iteration of that. Like anyone won't use stablecoin because you can move millions in second, paying 1 cent, and the payment is final directly, which is a big revolution from what we have in traditional finance. And for me, this is only like the first step. After we will have RWA. We are already like talking about like tokenized stock. You can use the tokenized stock to do like 24/7 trading. You can use the composability of the blockchain, meaning that you can put the stock as a collateral to get a loan and buy a house. All of this is possible and very easy because like, all of this is already on chain.
And that's what you mean by back office or back end.
Back end, yeah.
Back end. That's the money side, like
the
bank.
The money infrastructure that is on chain.
So that brings, first of all, I love that enthusiasm, and I agree with 100%. There's two sides coming together.
Yeah.
There's the back end, where you hold your money, all the, in the wallet, whether it's here or there, and then you got the products coming in. Okay, so I'm a user. I like the Ledger Live, because that tells me, okay, if I have self-custody, say I got $1 million in Bitcoin, I could store it on the wallet, because that's a lot of money.
Yep.
Okay, there's my Bitcoin. But now I'm like, okay, I want to actually connect it to my application. So, I mean, I have an iPhone. It's got Apple Pay. That's not crypto. That's a bank.
Yep.
That's a financial front end with a back end.
Yep.
So I'm the back end with my crypto. So what if I love a product and they put a new feature that says pay with Apple Pay, credit card, Ledger? Is that possible today where you guys are integrating into apps? Because I would like to pay, if I'm the bank, because I'm the bank.
Yeah, definitely. So
I'm the bank. I can charge, I can do credit.
It's a good one. So today you have different options to do that. The first one is the credit card. Within Ledger Wallet, you have an option to get a credit card. And what you will do is top up your card with Bitcoin or whatever stablecoin or whatever crypto. And whenever you are paying, then at this event, your crypto will be swapped into fiat in order to do the payment. You also have an option to only put Bitcoin as a collateral, and at the end of the month, either you refund your card with fiat, or your Bitcoin is used to settle the.
Well, if Bitcoin goes up.
Exactly. So you
free.
can decide. Yeah, you can decide this.
I made money.
Exactly.
Basically, free product.
Exactly.
If it goes down.
So there is this option that is already available. The card can be used within Apple Pay or Google Pay if you are using Google. Yeah. So this option already exists, and it's a good mix between crypto and the traditional Visa rails that are already used everywhere. And the future will be completely on-chain. Visa will probably disappear, or embrace crypto.
Yeah. All the middleman will go. There'll be services.
Exactly.
Services as software.
And
programmable money.
Yeah, and doing a payment with your phone will just mean that you are signing a transaction on whatever.
You know what's interesting, Charles, is that I just moved to New York. It's our new studio. I'm learning all about the financial markets, and I went to business school, so I know a little bit of the language. But it's interesting. They use words like DeFi and TradFi.
Yeah. I'm
like, that's just back end, front end. I mean, and so. The middleware layer, I'm kind of going tech stack now, I'll talk tech stack. You got, infrastructure, middleware, app. I'm oversimplifying it, but, DeFi is just back end.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, it's just a back end.
Totally.
And TradFi is just the front end.
And TradFi was using his own backend before, but now this backend is old, not so efficient, and so that's why TradFi will use DeFi as a backend.
And the middleware is essentially a decentralized fabric, decentralized layer.
Yeah.
That's managed differently.
And as a user, you can decide to directly interact with the backend in self-custody, no middleman, or traditional financial institution will also offer you product application that are leveraging this backend.
And this is why I think I love Ledger, because I think I just put it together in real time here. I'm the bank.
Yeah.
You're the bank infrastructure
your own
for
bank.
me.
Yeah, definitely.
Bring your own bank, BYOB. So I have my own bank. I can do credit off that. I can manage it, do whatever I want with it as long as it's secure, and you guys do that.
Exactly. This is exactly our mission.
All right. Well, I think I just put together the value proposition differentiation for Ledger. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Trailblazing. Love your office in Paris. If you're ever in Paris, check out the Ledger office. This is our office here at the New York Stock Exchange for theCUBE, SiliconANGLE Media and theCUBE, and our NYSE Wired program and community. Crypto Trailblazers, the leaders who are making it happen. Crypto infrastructure is a complete rewiring of the financial institutions and infrastructure where users are their own bank. Services will be on the retail, will be front end, app based, all coming together. It's just the beginning of a revolution. I'm John Furrier, your host. Thanks for watching.